The world is changing. Power dynamics are shifting. Nations that once held unchallenged dominance are now finding themselves in a more competitive and unpredictable global landscape. The rise of new economic powers and the resurgence of old ones are reshaping the way we understand international relations. The era of a single superpower is fading. The Cold War, which once defined the global order, has given way to a more fragmented and multipolar world. The influence of traditional superpowers is waning, and new players are emerging on the global stage, each with their own ambitions and strategies. We are entering a new age, a multipolar world. This new era is characterized by a diffusion of power among various nations, each vying for influence and control. The balance of power is no longer centered around a single nation or a small group of countries, but is spread across a diverse array of actors. In this complex landscape, alliances like NATO must adapt to remain relevant. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which was originally formed to counter the Soviet threat, now faces a myriad of new challenges. These include cyber threats, terrorism, and the rise of new military powers. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, stands as a bulwark of democracy and collective defense. It has been a cornerstone of international security for decades, providing a platform for member nations to collaborate on defense and security issues. However, its role and strategies must evolve to address the changing dynamics of global power. But how will it navigate the challenges and opportunities of this multipolar world? The alliance must find ways to remain cohesive and effective in the face of diverse and sometimes conflicting interests among its members. It must also engage with emerging powers and address non-traditional security threats. The old rules of the game are being rewritten. International agreements and treaties that once seemed unshakable are now being questioned, and in some cases abandoned. New policies and frameworks are being developed to address the realities of a multipolar world. New actors are stepping onto the world stage. Countries that were once considered peripheral are now becoming central to global politics and economics. These emerging powers bring new perspectives and priorities, challenging the established order and creating new opportunities for collaboration and conflict. China's economic and military might is growing. As the world's second-largest economy, China is expanding its influence through initiatives like the Belt and Road, and its military modernization is altering the strategic balance in Asia and beyond. Russia is asserting itself on the global stage. Through military interventions, cyber operations, and strategic partnerships, Russia is seeking to reclaim its status as a major power and challenge the influence of Western nations. These shifts in power create both challenges and opportunities for NATO. The alliance must navigate a complex and evolving security environment, balancing deterrence and dialogue, and finding ways to work with both traditional allies and new partners. The alliance must confront these realities head-on. By adapting its strategies, enhancing its capabilities, and fostering greater unity among its members, NATO can continue to play a vital role in maintaining global security and stability in this new world order. The rise of China is perhaps the most consequential geopolitical development of the 21st century. Over the past few decades, China has transformed from a largely agrarian society into a global economic powerhouse. This transformation has not only reshaped the global economic landscape, but has also had significant political and military implications. China's economic engine continues to roar, propelling its global influence. The country's manufacturing sector is the largest in the world, producing everything from electronics to textiles. Its financial markets are becoming increasingly integrated with the global economy, attracting investments from all corners of the globe. This economic might gives China significant leverage in international affairs. Its military modernization is proceeding at a rapid pace. The People's Liberation Army has undergone extensive reforms, enhancing its capabilities in cyber warfare, space operations, and conventional military power. Modern warships, advanced fighter jets, and sophisticated missile systems are now part of China's arsenal, making it a formidable force in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. This shift in power has profound implications for NATO. The alliance, originally formed to counter Soviet influence, now faces a more complex global landscape. The rise of China requires NATO to rethink its strategies and priorities. How should the alliance respond to China's growing influence in regions like Africa, Latin America, and even Europe? The alliance must find ways to engage with China, both cooperatively and competitively. Diplomatic efforts are crucial in managing this relationship. Joint military exercises and high-level summits can help build mutual understanding and reduce the risk of conflict. However, NATO must also be prepared to counter any aggressive moves by China that threaten the stability of its member states. At the same time, Russia's actions in Ukraine have sent shockwaves through the international system. The annexation of Crimea and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine have challenged the post-Cold War order. These actions have not only destabilized the region but have also raised questions about the future of international norms and the rule of law. Russia's willingness to use military force to achieve its objectives has raised serious concerns about its intentions. The international community is closely watching Russia's moves, wary of further aggression. NATO, in particular, must remain vigilant and ready to respond to any threats posed by Russia. This includes strengthening its eastern flank and enhancing its rapid response capabilities. NATO must deter further Russian aggression, while also seeking ways to manage the relationship. Diplomatic channels must remain open to prevent misunderstandings and miscalculations. At the same time, the alliance must demonstrate its resolve and readiness to defend its members. Balancing deterrence and dialogue is crucial in navigating the complex dynamics of the current geopolitical landscape. Technology is transforming warfare. Cyber attacks can cripple critical infrastructure. Artificial intelligence is changing the nature of decision-making on the battlefield. Hypersonic missiles are challenging traditional notions of defense. NATO must embrace these technological advancements while also mitigating their risks. The alliance must invest in cutting-edge technologies to maintain its military edge. It must also develop new doctrines and strategies to counter the threats posed by these emerging technologies. Failure to do so will leave NATO vulnerable in the future. The lines between war and peace are blurring. States are increasingly employing hybrid tactics to achieve their objectives. These tactics include cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and economic coercion. They are designed to sow discord, undermine trust, and weaken adversaries from within. NATO must adapt to this new reality. It must develop strategies to counter hybrid threats. This requires a whole-of-government approach, involving not just the military but also intelligence agencies, diplomats, and the private sector. Section 5. The Bear and the Dragon. Russia and China are drawing closer together. They share a common interest in challenging the existing world order. They are deepening their economic and military ties. This burgeoning partnership has significant implications for NATO. The alliance must avoid the trap of a two-front conflict. NATO must maintain a strong deterrent posture against both Russia and China. It must also seek to exploit any daylight that exists between the two countries. Diplomacy and dialogue will be essential to managing this complex relationship. Section 6. The Transatlantic Bond. The transatlantic bond between North America and Europe is the bedrock of NATO. This bond is rooted in shared values, history, and interests. It has been tested in the past, but it has always endured. However, the transatlantic relationship is facing new strains. The United States is increasingly focused on the Indo-Pacific region. Europe is grappling with its own internal challenges. These developments have led some to question the future of the transatlantic alliance. NATO must reaffirm its commitment to the transatlantic bond. Section 7. Sharing the burden. NATO is a collective defense organization. This means that all members must share the burden of defense. For too long, the United States has shouldered a disproportionate share of the burden. This is no longer sustainable. European allies must step up their defense spending. They must invest in modern military capabilities. They must be willing to contribute to NATO operations. A fairer burden-sharing arrangement is essential for the long-term health of the alliance. Section 8. Navigating the future. NATO faces a daunting array of challenges. The international environment is becoming more complex and unpredictable. New technologies are transforming warfare, old adversaries are resurgent, but NATO has overcome challenges before. It has adapted to changing circumstances. It has emerged stronger from adversity. With a clear vision, strong leadership, and unwavering unity, NATO can navigate the challenges ahead. Section 9. NATO's enduring mission. NATO's mission remains as relevant today as it was when it was founded in 1949, to protect its members from aggression. Over the decades, NATO has evolved to meet the changing dynamics of global security. From the Cold War era to the present day, the alliance has been a steadfast guardian of peace and stability in the Euro-Atlantic area. In a multipolar world, NATO must continue to adapt to new challenges. The rise of new global powers, the resurgence of old threats, and the emergence of non-state actors have all necessitated a re-evaluation of NATO's strategies and objectives. The alliance must be agile and forward-thinking, ready to respond to crises wherever they may arise. It must strengthen its collective defense capabilities. This means not only maintaining a robust military presence, but also investing in cutting-edge technologies and fostering interoperability among member nations. Joint exercises and training programs are crucial in ensuring that NATO forces can operate seamlessly together, enhancing their readiness and effectiveness. It must deepen its partnerships with like-minded countries. By building strong relationships with nations that share its values and goals, NATO can extend its influence and bolster its security network. These partnerships are vital in addressing global challenges such as terrorism, cyber threats, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. And it must remain a beacon of democracy, freedom, and the rule of law. NATO's commitment to these principles is what sets it apart and gives it moral authority on the world stage. Upholding these values is essential in countering authoritarianism and promoting a rules-based international order. The future of NATO is bright. With a renewed focus on innovation and collaboration, the alliance is well positioned to navigate the complexities of the 21st century. By leveraging the strengths of its diverse membership, NATO can continue to be a force for good in an increasingly interconnected world. The alliance has the experience, the capabilities, and the will to meet the challenges of the 21st century. From countering hybrid warfare to addressing climate change's impact on security, NATO is prepared to tackle a wide array of issues. Its adaptability and resilience are key to its enduring success. By working together, NATO allies can ensure that the alliance remains a cornerstone of global security for generations to come. Through unity and shared purpose, NATO will continue to safeguard the freedom and security of its members, contributing to a more stable and peaceful world.